Their task today is keeping that trio of guards in front of them.
Lee Cassell, Bird Smith, Terry Oglesby, our officials. Memphis in possession first. A Tiger team that's played one of the hardest schedules in the nation and turns it over on the first possession. Good news for UVA. Day Ames is back from missing a game with an ankle injury. And the first career start for the freshman, Jacob Kofi, along with Rhodey Saunders and the Cavaliers' leading scorer, Isaac McNeely. 6-4 Virginia team. They've lost their 4 toughest games and have not been particularly competitive in any of them. Ames, step back 3, grabbed by Cisse, but a foul on Moussa Cisse as immediately Kofi makes an impact, crashing the offensive glass.
It's good for Virginia to have Day Ames back, to not play in their last game. He's the one guy on their team who can break a defense down, the one guy who can get into the paint and make a play, gives them another ball handler out there.
Virginia coming off a 59-41 win over Bethune-Cookman Thursday. They started, to say slow would be putting it nicely. 3 points in the first 12 minutes and 15 seconds in that game. End of the shot clock, Kofi gets air, and Virginia will turn it over, which, Chris, has been a huge problem for UVA.
It's been the problem. It's put so much pressure on their defense. It's a jump shooting team, and they don't have a guy who can score in the paint, a guard who can get in there, a big guy who can post and finish.
Memphis starting guards, we showed you in the open. P.J. Haggerty, Colby Rogers, Tyrese Hunter have all gone for at least 22 this year. Jourdain and Cisse. Memphis will go 8 deep, but they really play 6 primarily. Cisse underneath, his shot well short. Jourdain kicks it, and the 3 for Hunter won't go. Rebound to Saunders. McNeely slips it through to the freshman Kofi to the left hand, and P.J. Haggerty, very good rebounding guard, comes away with the ball for Memphis.
Love to see Kofi play off of 2 feet there. A little finesse, go into the body, play off of 2 feet, go up strong. Send a message early in this game.
It's a Memphis team that is the second best 3-point shooting team in the country, 44.3%, just slightly behind Bradley. The 3 here missed by Rogers, and Memphis starts 0 for 3. As with many Virginia games, it is a contrast in styles. Ames a little quicker on the possession there, misses a layup. Memphis team loves to run. They always have under Penny, but Rhodey gets in the cookie jar and strips Haggerty.
And a nice job getting back. And this is a key for Memphis today. You're going to see a lot of multiple bodies. You cannot drive into 2 bodies in the half court or in transition. Sometimes these guards for Memphis can get sped up, and that's where those turnovers happen, just being careless.
A lot of dribbling by the freshman Kofi. McNeely, dying moments of the shot clock. McNeely wraps it through to Saunders. Drew on the back iron. Saunders goes back, and 3 minutes into the game, Elijah Saunders of Virginia lifts the lid.
And it started with the penetration from McNeely. Nice pass, drop off, and you get a second shot, something that Virginia has not gotten a lot of this year. Offensive rebounds.
Hunter throws it high for a slashing Haggerty. Memphis has already turned it over 3 times to the chagrin of Penny Hardaway, who is in his 7th season, 5-0 against ACC teams, including a win at Clemson last Saturday, where Memphis had to come back from down 5 with a minute to go.
Memphis jumped out 10-0 on Clemson. And Clemson got back into that game because those turnovers started to become problematic, much like we've seen early here.
Yeah, 3 in the first 5 possessions. Saunders in the corner. He's got the first 5.
There's a diversity to Saunders' game that nobody else on Virginia's team has. He is starting to really play well. Played about 20 minutes a game at San Diego State last year.
10-5 this year on average for UVA as their second leading scorer. Starting to hit from 3 more consistently. Dane Danger on the floor for Cisse, and Danger opens the Memphis scoring with a chance for 1 more.
That in a microcosm right there is Dane Gage's game. I mean, his size combined with his agility and skill is what makes him so tough. It's a combo of skill and power that catches you by surprise. He's light on his feet and then finishes through the contact. He's that, it's the yin and the yang. It's the defense. They start with Cisse, and then you bring Danger in, who's the more offensive player.
He was big in that late comeback, and Clemson hit some free throws at the end of regulation. Danger, a couple of free throws late in overtime as well on the 5-point win, and then Ames just throws it away. It's February 28, 2010, 15 seasons ago. That was a 67-49 home loss to Duke, which apparently left such a bad taste in Tony Bennett's mouth, he didn't want to bring back the jerseys. Do you remember that game, Chris Patillo?
I do. I was on staff at Duke for that game, and it was a year we ended up winning the national championship. I think the jerseys have taken a lot of heat. They're being blamed wrongly. We had a pretty good team that year, Kevin.
You have a guy who's sitting in the first seat on the Memphis bench as well right now, Nolan Smith. So bringing the jerseys back with you and Nolan Smith in attendance, maybe trying to erase some of the bad memories. McNeely gets free for three and leaves it short. Rebound to Jourdain. Haggerty banks it in. P.J. Haggerty's first bucket.
You've got to get back. I mean, that's another thing that Virginia has typically been very good at is keeping teams out of transition. They're a long rebound, and Memphis is out and running. They're so athletic in the open floor.
Man, what do you make of the way that not just programs look, but what the challenge has been for Rod Sanchez to take this thing over so close to the season as Buchanan flushes?
Well, it's not an easy situation. I mean, first of all, there's a talent deficit. They just don't have, the talent to compete with the Power 5 teams that have been on their schedule so far. It's a team that's not very athletic. It's a team that's not very physical. And there's a lot of things that this team is going through, the turnovers being one of them, that you can coach it till you're blue in the face. Until these guys figure that out, it's been a struggle. So he's a good man, and he's been here a long time. And I think he'll get it going, but it's not an easy situation he stepped into.
He's feeling better now as Rhodey banks it in after the fourth Memphis turnover. UVA by 4 in the first 6 minutes. 4 for their last 6. Jourdain. Hunter for 3. Tyrese Hunter shooting at 52% from 3.
First of all, defensively, how do you leave him? I mean, you cannot leave him, but that's the play offensively against Virginia. You get 1-2 dribbles into that gap, and then you kick. Really nicely done by Haggerty.
TJ Power and Ishan Sharma seeing the floor for the first time. There's the freshman Sharma, who kept UVA in the game against Bethune-Cookman last week with a career-high 12. Deep shot clock again, Rhodey. Long one. It's Rhodey from the logo. Much improved three-point shooter this year, Rhodey. He was 25% from deep a season ago. He's got an early 5. There's danger denied by Buchanan. Shot clock at 5 for Colby Rogers. Rogers, his deep 3, tipped by Danger, kept alive by Danger. And Hunter misses another one from deep. 1 for 5 for Memphis from 3.
Memphis just looks uncomfortable. I mean, they didn't get into what they were running until about 15 seconds on the shot clock. A lot of dribbling, a lot of standing.
McNeely for Power. Sharma in the corner. This is where Memphis can be so good. Haggerty in between a couple of Cavaliers.
Especially him. I mean, he is so shifty and so wiggly off of the dribble. It's one of the reasons he goes to the foul line as much as he does. He is wired to score.
22 on the season, 4 tonight. Buchanan. UVA team which gets a huge percentage of its points from 3. It's really their one major strength offensively. Power will drive it against Jourdain. A good shot blocker.
You know, he had a great freshman year, started his career at Iowa State. He was the Big 12's Freshman of the Year. Averaged 11 points a game that year, had 23 in their first round win in the NCAA tournament against LSU. And then he decided to transfer to Texas. And it was a little bit up and down. You know, he battled consistency there. It made you, at points wonder why he transferred from Iowa State. But he has found his footing this year. He has been so good so far in their lineup.
What do you think makes this a better fit for him, at least than we saw with the inconsistency the last couple of years in Texas?
First of all, he's playing with two other dynamic guards, and I think the three of them are playing off each other really, really well. They all draw attention, which is going to open up things for each other. He's a year older. He's more mature. He's on his third school, and he's playing for a guy who understands the position. I think it's a aggregate of a lot of things.
One of several players on their third or fourth school here in the Memphis rotation. Baraka Okoji, who's on only his second, just checked in, number 6 for Memphis. Hunter gets a breather. Here's the freshman Kofi into the senior. Danger. What a finish.
He's going to be a really good player, and I think it's one of the reasons he's now in the starting lineup. He gives them more athleticism than they get with Buchanan. He's their leading rebounder. And just, as you saw there, a really good athlete.
Sharma strips it, taking it away from Rogers. That's the 6th Memphis turnover. Kofi was thinking about a 3 there. He can shoot it. Tane Murray's in the game for the first time.
The problem there is you've got Dane Danger guarding out on the perimeter. He's not locked up there on Tane Murray, and he drills it right in his face.
After the timeout, Danger and Cisse still on the floor together. Hunter controlling right now with the freshman Sharma on him. Hunter around a screen, trying to step back from 3. Good job by Sharma to stay down. Leads to Haggerty off balance. Danger battling for the ball, and Danger puts it up and in to score.
And it started with the penetration, the kick to Haggerty, a good shot. You take a good shot, and you got 2 big dudes inside who are going to crash that offensive glass. Nice job by Danger.
Virginia, meanwhile, has already outscored its first half total from last game against Bethune-Cookman. They were down 21-18 at the break. Cisse collects the rebound off the Kofi miss. Rogers bailed out by Cisse. It was hanging in the air. Danger into Kofi again. Danger once again with a second chance. Couldn't get it to go. Fighting once more. Danger relentless on the glass, and he is fouled. It is Saturday on ESPN. It's a great men's basketball matinee triple header. Syracuse in Maryland, the Gotham Classic from Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Wake Forest and number 25 Clemson following that, and then Purdue and Auburn, another titanic non-conference game for those teams. It's all on ESPN, all on the ESPN app. Three for Hunter. Danger again. Just keeping Memphis in the game by his 6'9", 255-pound self.
You'll grab a lot of rebounds if you're big, but if you play with a motor, you start grabbing rebounds outside your area. And that's what he's done over the last few possessions. I mean, that is working to get the offensive rebound. And then that bulk and size takes over.
And the foul, the second on the freshman Kofi, so he'll take a seat for the sophomore Buchanan. First career start for Kofi, 2 points, 2 fouls in 6 minutes. Danger transfer from Illinois. He's got 7 of Memphis's 14. And he has 4 rebounds, all offensive rebounds. Oh, wow, careless pass, and then Buchanan just clobbered P.J. Carter.
I mean, it's almost like Rhodey just panicked in the corner here. Like, there are I mean, this is like a grade school. That wasn't even a hard trap. I mean, you had 2 guys on you with the sideline behind you, but still, There are times this year where Virginia is almost inventing new ways to turn the ball over.
Especially around these parts where they typically do not turn the ball over. P.J. Carter, another missed three. Here's McNeely. That was the third UVA turnover, but they're holding Memphis to 1 for 8 from three, the second best three-point shooting team in Division I. Day-Day Ames back on the floor. Ames trying to skewer his way through. McNeely gets free, and McNeely misses. Rebound tip to Okogie. Okogie's thinking about going all the way and then throws it right into Buchanan with 23 to shoot.
So one thing when Penny Hardaway goes to his bench, it's not giving them a whole lot. I think Baraka Okogie, only a sophomore. I think he'll be good in time, but they just don't. They have their top 6, and there's not much after that.
They only brought 10 players today. A couple of walk-ons stayed home. They lost Tyreek Smith, who transferred out before the year, who was going to be an important forward. And this is what you're talking about, Chris. 64 points per game. That's 9th in Division I by starters. And then throw Danger in there. He averages 11 a game, and he's primarily off the bench. Foul is against Buchanan there, so both bigs have 2 right now for UVA, Kofi and Buchanan. And UVA is going to bring in their little-used third big, Anthony Robinson, into the game.
Yeah, that's a foul. No question about it.
And immediately, Danger will go at Robinson. Miss a tough fadeaway. The crowd loves that for Robinson, who secures the rebound.
They gave one of those ball don't lie reactions.
Murray, Power, Robinson, McNeely, and Ames. Unusual 5 for Rod Sanchez, whose team leads by 5. Tane Murray, most experienced player on the team, throws up a prayer. Robinson stopped by Danger and then lost it to Rogers. Haggerty 3. Do you like the shots that Memphis is getting?
Those are the shots you get against Virginia.
Robinson
playing their system, their style, and they believed in it and bought into it. I mean, he was terrific. It does make you wonder, like, what it says about the current state of things that Tony Bennett and Jay Wright leave the game super prematurely. Both those guys had at least 10 years left if they wanted it, and both said, nah, we're good. We don't want any more of this.
Jourdain with the miss. Can you build a program? I guess maybe there's a better way to ask this. What percentage of the way Tony Bennett used to build a program can you? Because it's probably not 100% the same way he used to do it in the portal NIL world.
Well, I think the difference now, Kevin, is like you could find your diamonds in the rough, your Kyle guys, your Ty Jeromes. But if those guys play well now at your program, they may play the game of basketball.
Well, it ends up being the 7th Memphis turnover. Only a common foul, but it is Haggerty's 2nd. He'll stay in the game. Memphis is, again, not deep at all. So 5 for 18 start. Memphis has missed its last 6 and has turned it over 7 times. As a little bit of the vintage Virginia has showed up. 7-point lead, Day-Day Ames. 7 UVA players have scored, including Murray, who goes uncontested to the basket. And Musa Cisse not happy with a teammate there.
Well, and they've been caught in some bad matchups. I mean, Cisse trying to guard out on the perimeter, and a really nice decision by Murray to go right by him.
Murray's 5 already tie his season high. Rogers hasn't scored yet. Haggerty just 4, Hunter only 3. Here's P.J. Haggerty. Rogers at 3. in and out. Rebound punched into the hands of Tyrese Hunter. Murray all over Rogers, who finally shakes him free, rattles it out. And then a foul on the rebound attempt. Moussa Cisse going over the back, and he'll be hit with his second.
I mean, it's really good defense. Really good defense by Taine Murray there. And then with the movement that Virginia's creating with their offense, with their sides offense and the stuff that they are, these crossing actions, Memphis getting caught in some switches. And then just a really good fight there by Robinson. Nice job.
He has given them some unexpected and enormous minutes in the last three. Anthony Robinson. Cisse leaves the game with the 2 fouls. Danger returns. Murray again. 7 UVA players have scored. McNeely, their leading scorer, has still not found the basket. Haggerty transition, and that ball slapped out of the cylinder for a goaltend. So 6 for Haggerty. That snaps what was an 0 for 7 drought as a team from Memphis. Ames to the right hand, stripped and fouled. Day-Day Ames will shoot 2 on the 7th Memphis foul of the half. By the way, Memphis just broke a 5-minute scoring drought on that last possession.
You know, you almost like that goaltending by Robinson on the other end. It's aggressive. He's in here to make an impact.
He's played less than 8 minutes total the last 4 games, Robinson. Ames misses the first couple of Holiday Hoops women's basketball games for you this Saturday. ESPN2, ESPN Plus, a really fun Duke team this year. Heads into Tampa to take on USF at noon, and then Iowa State against 10-1 Oklahoma State at 5 Eastern, a Big 12 battle. Those games streaming on the ESPN app. 1 for 2 for Day-Day Ames. 8 of the 10 Virginia players to come into the game have scored. Everybody but McNeely, their leading scorer, and Sharma, who had 12 last game.
This has been the best that Virginia's half-court defense has looked against a Power 5 team so far this year. Now, Memphis's turnovers have helped, and Virginia's defense has been a part of that, and you've relied on Memphis missing threes, but that's what Virginia's pack-line defense is typically willing to give up.
Robinson just called for his first foul. Rogers, Hunter. Memphis 1 for 10 from 3. Memphis 1 for 11 from 3.
And if you don't get penetration, you're going to end up taking contested threes. Nobody able to get by and into the paint, and you end up with a tough contested shot.
Ames against Danger in the mismatch. Rolls it into TJ Power, and Power leaves it short. Rogers open. Memphis 44% from 3 on the season, 8% today, 1 for 12 for the nation's second best 3-point percentage team. Murray gets around Rogers. Shoves it home. Did not expect the Taine Murray game. 7 in the first half to lead Virginia, which is up 10. Hunter again looking for the rolling Danger. Instead, Jourdain all alone. Another missed 3. 1 for 13.
These are open looks. Yeah, at some point you got to step in and make it. And their spacing is, you know, that's how these shots become available.
Once more, it's Danger switched on to Ames, and then Danger is called for a reach-in foul.
With his analysis, I mean, their offense has, Virginia's offense has Memphis spinning in circles. And I think some of the frustration from the offensive end, missed shots, turnovers, is creeping into what they're doing defensively.
And critically for Virginia, they're not turning it over, only 3 points off turnovers right now are 14-0 in favor of UVA. Largest lead tonight for Virginia team looking for a major win against one of the more battle-tested teams in the nation. Danger inside from Jordan. Danger's got half the Memphis points. Virginia led by Murray with 7, Saunders and Rhodey with 5. McNeely hasn't scored, though he has 3 assists. Ames has just a couple of free throws. Elijah Robinson 6 rebounds in 6 minutes off the bench. McNeely. Murray 3 to shoot. Murray driving on Danger. Tane Murray didn't hit the rim. That'll be a shot clock violation.
You know, if Murray's got a little more composure they go to this continuity ball screens. You're basically just getting wing ball screens on both sides. And again, you were able to break down the defense. If you're Murray, just play off of 2 feet, a little composure in there.
Just the 4th Virginia turnover. Haggerty gives it to Hunter, who's 1 for 5, all from 3. Carter will spot up. P.J. Carter rattles into 3.
Got a lot of unlikely sources in this first half. Carter there. Virginia's had a few different guys off of their bench step up.
He was a terrific 3-point shooter at UTSA a year ago. Just 3.5 points per game for Memphis this year. Lead down to 6. Ames cut off on the baseline by Carter. Jourdain trying to communicate with Hunter into the corner. Ames no for 3. Danger boxes out Robinson. Hunter in the final minute of the half. Inside Haggerty trying to drive it strong on Ames. Haggerty leaves it well short, and then Ames collects it.
And Virginia's done a really nice job keeping P.J. Haggerty off of the foul line. He's one of the most prolific at getting there in the country. They have played him without fouling.
He hasn't attempted a single free throw today. 2nd in the nation in attempts last year. Saunders spinning. Danger helping. And Danger rejecting.
Really nice help. Really good reaction, because it was a nice spin there by Saunders.
Oh, 7 to shoot. Carter's on the ground. McNeely 3. It's good. Isaac McNeely in the dying moments of the half finally opens his account. The best 3-point shooter by percentage in the history of this university, and the lead is now 9 once more. Carter hit a 3 a couple of possessions ago. Carter steps into it, and that ball's over the top of the backboard. Murray, final shot of the half. What do you say if you're Penny Hardaway in the locker room?
Well, first of all, you got to get stops. I mean, that's, the movement, the confusion. There hasn't been a lot of talk from this Memphis defense, so it starts with your defense, and then you got to take much better care of the basketball.
Memphis starters averaging 64 per game on the year. They're starting 5. The starters combined for 9. 3 starters went scoreless in that first half. Here's McNeely bouncing his way to the freshman Kobe. Opens the half of the baskets.
But again, a Virginia team that's had a hard time getting into their opponent's paint. Penetration by McNeely is what sets that up.
9 assists on 12 made field goals. Team that has one of the highest assist rates in basketball. Another good look for 3. Rogers not close. And Cisse grabbed before that shot. So that'll be the 3rd foul on Kofi, who just scored his 2nd basket. First half numbers not pretty for Memphis. The backcourt, Haggerty, Hunter, Rogers combined for 9 points, 4 made field goals, 14-3 edge off of turnovers. And Tane Murray, the leading scorer for UVA.
But like on that last shot by Rogers, I mean, that was the game plan for Memphis. Get in the paint and kick. He was open. He just airballed it.
Haggerty fouled on the way up. Now Kofi was in there along with Saunders, and that's going to be called against Jacob Kofi. So he picks up his 3rd and 4th fouls in a span of 7 seconds. Kofi was making his first career start, and Blake Buchanan will replace him in between free throws, the first of the game taken by P.J. Haggerty.
It's pretty remarkable. I mean, that's another big part of what Virginia was able to do, keep him off the foul line.
So Kofi only played 6-18 in the first half with foul trouble. Virginia got a huge lift from Anthony Robinson, a season-high 6 rebounds, basket and a block in 8.5 minutes. Buchanan the first big off the bench here as Haggerty goes 2 for 2. It's a 9-point Virginia lead. A little pressure here for Memphis after the made free throws. Rhodey get it back to Day Ames, and Virginia's across the timer. And then Ames just throws it right through Saunders' hands.
You know, Virginia for the most part took good care of the ball in the first half, but that's just another careless one from Ames.
And then Haggerty's fouled again, this time driving into Rhodey. So P.J. Haggerty's going to will his way to the line once more.
It really is remarkable, his ability to get to the line. He's a free throw merchant. He just knows how to use his body. He doesn't mind contact, and he's got all the tricks. You know, you can tell he's played. I mean, he's 6'3", about 190 pounds, but he's not afraid of going in there, and he's got all those veteran tricks, the embellishments to draw that whistle.
He was the freshman of the year in the American at Tulsa last year. He was the freshman of the week 14 times. And the bottom number is just crazy. 309 attempts. Only Zach Edey, who was fouled about every other possession, attempted more free throws. So Haggerty transfers within the conference to Memphis, which is putting some pressure on. And Virginia barely got it across half court in time. Buchanan looking to distribute. 8 to shoot it. Rhodey was cut off. Ames will try to drive it. Ames will step back. Looking to go baseline again. Haggerty's just all in his face, and Ames did not try the backboard. So that will go as a shot clock violation and another turnover. And there's a little life now in Memphis's boots.
Nice job by Haggerty keeping the ball in front of him. If you're Day Ames, you got to get off the ball, man. I mean, he's just pounding it to death. I assume that's what Ron Sanchez is saying to him over there. Get off the ball. Let it see another pair of hands.
Ron Sanchez still talking to him as Ishan Sharma, the freshman, comes in. Hunter, great back cut, and Haggerty scores 6 in a row. It's a 5-point game just like that. A dozen for Haggerty, their leading scorer at 22 a game. This pressure is really messing with Virginia's ability to get into the offense. Though they find Saunders here, missed the slam, but there is a foul as Saunders hits the hardwood. Moussa Cisse with his 3rd foul.
It didn't look pretty, but eventually Virginia was able to advance it. Good pass out of the trap by Rhodey, and a good attack of the rim there by Saunders.
6'8" junior from Phoenix, San Diego State a year ago. 15-8 and a win over Bethune-Cookman on Thursday, a game where Virginia did not take the lead until the 14:50 mark of the second half. They have had the lead most of this game. Cavalier team that has one good win, a neutral site over Villanova. And there's a strip. Rhodey just took it away from Haggerty, who is late to get back into the play, and then Rhodey dribbles it out of bounds.
You know, I had a coach who used to call me a turnover looking for a stat sheet. I sometimes feel like that about Andrew Rhodey. It's a turnover that's just looking to go in the box score.
Did you ever escape that mantle?
No, I'm still seeing a therapist about it. It's traumatizing.
Chris, have a sit on the couch. How's your statue feeling today? Sharma commits the foul. That's 4 quick ones on Virginia in the half. And this is what Memphis does. One of the things they do really well, they get fouled a lot. They get to the line a lot. 13th in the country in free throws made. They're 7 for 7 today. And finally, Colby Rogers, after 22 at Clemson, scores. Memphis turning up the full court heat again. McNeely throws a long one. Jourdain swats it out of bounds, but only 2 seconds now to get it across.
Somebody's got to come help him out. I mean, somebody's got to come back to the ball. Everybody's up here at half court. McNeely's being trapped.
Memphis has forced 3 turnovers in 5 possessions. Rhodey into the front court. Buchanan. Saunders finds McNeely. Cisse with a rejection. Playing with 3 fouls. A clean block for Moussa Cisse. Memphis got Rogers finally out of the score sheet. Last time out, Tyrese Hunter hasn't scored since very early in the game. He only has 1 3. Here's Haggerty against Rhodey. Haggerty calls Jourdain out. Left-handed pass across the court for Rogers. A tough 2 is short.
I mean, Haggerty could have done that. You skip it to end up with that shot. 3 dribbles and a contested 2.
No field goals in 3.5 minutes now for Virginia. Deep one. McNeely, no. Haggerty with a rebound, his 4th. P.J. Haggerty, such a pace pusher, and he gets to the right hand.
You know, Haggerty is also a really good rebounder. I mean, he didn't score well against Clemson. He had 8 rebounds in that game. And you see what he can do when he rips it off the backboard and can take it all the way.
He's got 8 of Memphis's 10 in the second half. A 9-point halftime deficit slashed to 3. Saunders. Another long possession. Sharma. And Buchanan's there against Cisse. There's a foul. A reach in carelessly. It leads by 3. And Blake Buchanan hits the first free throw after Moussa Cisse picked up a very silly 4th foul when we went to break. And tried to pick up his 5th against a teammate right there. So Dane Dange's on the floor, and Dange, Chris, not the same defensively, but gave him a big lift in the first half.
And they need offense.
Had 9 off the bench for Memphis, led right now by Haggerty's 14. Hunter has had a hard day, 1 for 5, all from 3. So he'll shoot it for 2.
Kind of, you know, did that Barkley where he just kind of backed him in, realized nobody was coming, and a nice use of his pivot foot. Man, Andrew Rhodey. I mean, I don't know if you want him handling against this pressure. He has panicked a couple times.
Let me ask you this. Who do you want handling, especially in a team that lost its point guard, Jalen Worley, to the portal when Tony Bennett retired?
Well, I think, well, first of all, it needs to be a collective effort. I mean, guys are running away from the basketball while one guy's handling it in the full court.
Danger, back cut. Hunter missed it. Would have tied it. Tyrese Hunter staggering back onto his feet. UVA has a quick 5-on-4, and Murray will pass it up back to Power. Tane Murray, TJ Power returning to the game with Ames, Sharma, and Buchanan. Very, very, very young Virginia lineup. Ames one-hands it inside. Buchanan stuffs it.
Nice roll by Buchanan and a really nice pass by Ames.
Only the 3rd field goal for Virginia in about a 9.5 minute span. Haggerty crossing Sharma, lost it, and it's ruled to be out of bounds off of Sharma. It looked like it hit the knee of Haggerty, maybe hit Sharma on the way, with 12 to shoot. Well, P.J. Haggerty will inbound for the baseline. He's got 14 to lead Memphis, which has trailed all half. And Haggerty gets bumped up high by Murray. That's the 5th UVA foul of the half. Tane Murray's first. College football playoff, the first ever 12-team edition, kicks off Friday night. What a game this is. Indiana, Notre Dame, ESPN ABC in South Bend, where we have not been with ESPN in years. Saturday, SMU, Penn State, Clemson, Texas. Those games on TNT. And then Ohio State, Tennessee at the Shoe on ABC and ESPN. So a couple of ACC teams involved there. SMU and Clemson. You have a pick as we start the inaugural 12-team playoff?
For the whole thing?
For the whole thing.
I think the Georgia Bulldogs are going to win the whole thing.
Even with the Carson Beck injury.
Even with. Yeah, even with.
Power, good look.
Who's your pick?
Is it boring if I say Oregon?
No.
Is it more boring than Georgia?
Danger misses one from right at the basket
and then gets fouled again. It feels like the most open year we've had in a while. Then you throw the 12-team element into it. Let's just say Arizona State for fun.
Yeah, I like it.
Be a contrarian. It'll be the one to pick Arizona State.
It's certainly not boring.
Yeah. Because if I say Oregon and they win, nobody will remember. But if I say Arizona State, I'll be the one guy who picked Arizona State. Danger on his way to a double-double. Blanks the first free throw.
I'm just happy to see you recovered from that really rough Cuban sandwich episode you had earlier today. Or was it a plantain situation?
Well, it was plantains without sauce. I'm not going to name any names, but when you order plantains with salsa and there's no with salsa.
The thing that bothered you the most is that Yelp gave it a 4.8, and you were very disappointed.
It diminishes the experience. See, now that you're giving specifics, people are going to know. Ames scrambles free. It's a 3-on-1. Murray passes it all the way back to Power. Had Buchanan on the block. And now Jourdain running with it. And it leads to a basket and a foul for Haggerty, who can tie this game at the line.
That's what pressure can do. I mean, it just speeds you up. It was a chaotic job by Virginia getting it over. Once they did, TJ Power driving it into a brick wall. And then Memphis shows you their ability to convert. So athletic and quick in the open floor. And there's that free throw merchant firing the pistols.
You said Memphis was playing half asleep in the first half. Have they fully woken up?
Yeah, there's no question. And part of it's the ball going in the basket. Part of it is they're starting to be rewarded from their pressure.
Haggerty completes a three-point play. Memphis has never led this game, but they have tied it 7 minutes or so into the second half. Brody back on the floor for Virginia, which broke the initial wave of pressure. And then McNeely settles for a moment. A little more experience on the floor for UVA. McNeely inside, swatted out of the air by Rogers. 5 to shoot, it's Murray. Had 7 in the first half. Swirls it out from 3. Memphis looking for its first lead, and the goaltending is called. Terry Oglesby with a goaltending call. He tells the Virginia bench that will be reviewed at the 12-minute timeout, but for now, it's a bucket and a Memphis lead.
Yeah, definite goaltending. A really, really good early offense. Nice job by Haggerty, waiting for Dane Danger to seal off Buchanan, ride him up the lane a little bit. Good pass over the top with touch.
So Danger and Haggerty with 29 of the 39, and Memphis has its first lead of the game. And the pressure again nearly got another turnover. Murray 2-on-1 goes into Danger, and a confident finish. The senior from Auckland, New Zealand, Tane Murray, who has barely scored in his 4 years here. One of the best games of his career at UVA. He's got 9. Jourdain inside. A cutting runner is fouled and scores scores again.
You're going to go find those points, so he's ripping down defensive rebounds. He's getting stuff out there in transition. He's running the floor. I mean, he has found the basket in the second half.
You're saying you were in a basket in search of a stat sheet?
I was a shot searching for one.
3-point play for Tyrese Sutter. Meanwhile, Memphis with its second lead of the game. They both come in the last few possessions. Virginia has led this game by as many as 11. Tigers looking for will be another nice road win for their resume against just a behemoth of a non-conference schedule. Saunders got tied up and fouled. And the helper was Okoji, and that's the third foul of the half for Memphis. A big number, though, in the bottom right. Virginia's committed 8 fouls already, so Memphis will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Andrew Rohde to inbound. He's got 4 of Virginia's 9 turnovers. Aims for 3. Ron Sanchez applauding, trying to remain calm. Keep hope alive on the sideline for Virginia. Seen a 9-point halftime lead evaporate. What a crossover! P.J. Haggerty just saucy to the hoop.
He's got that wiggle. The wiggle.
A massive second half for Haggerty. 13 in the half, 19 in the game. Where does Virginia go for an answer? Haggerty's all over Ames, who splits him, then runs right into the secondary defender, Roger. So Haggerty will shoot for the technical foul. By the way, we appreciate the officials this year using microphones in the arena so fans can hear the call. I don't think the Virginia fans appreciated it as much. But here is one final look at the play. So the foul right there on Saunders. And then, as he said, the play's dead, and there's the trip by Ames. So Haggerty's going to shoot another 2 here. And he goes 3 for 4. So Haggerty, the first 2 were for the dead ball foul. Technically, then the next 2 were for the technical. And P.J. Haggerty now has his 28th career 20-point game. And Memphis gets 3 points and then the ball. So this could truly go down as an epic disaster of a possession for Virginia. 2 fouls and at least 3 points allowed. And Memphis is now in the double bonus. Okoji swings it for Hunter. Into Danger. Flip back up top. Hunter, side iron on a 3. And there's Danger again. But the ball trickles down to Rohde. And Rohde just pushed out by Rogers. And then a foul on Okoji. And Virginia's won the national championship.
Well, that was a must-have-a-stop defensive possession down there for Virginia because their tempo and the way their offense is playing right now, they could not withstand this getting to double figures. I don't quite understand why Andrew Rohde couldn't. I mean, I guess he makes the right decision. He didn't feel like he could press the issue one-on-one, but I mean, you're in the open floor. You would have loved to come away with at least some foul shots there.
Rohde back for Saunders. Good luck.
It's a big turnaround. That is a big turnaround after what they just withstood. A big shot by Saunders.
Virginia had missed 8 of its last 9 from 3. The lead back to 5. In the corner of 3 for Rogers. Danger over the back again. Another offensive rebound. And Danger misses. Punched out of the left by Jourdain. And then Rogers was on the sideline. Memphis turns it over.
You weathered another storm there. 2 offensive rebounds, 3 cracks at the basket for Memphis, and they come away with nothing.
Terry Oglesby stops play because He changes the angle of the inbounder. McNeely from in front of the Memphis bench. I got a good look last possession. What can UVA do to get some easier shots here? That's not bad. Hurry. And there's no foul on the play. Jourdain came crashing in.
You know, Memphis is not helping. So they are basically, guys are on an island having to guard, and they've done a pretty nice job of it in this half. So a lot of that movement stuff that Virginia was running in the first half, Memphis isn't reacting to. They are forcing these guys to be one-on-one creators.
Brody against Jourdain, crosses over, decides not to take it. McNeely into Murray, charging his way in. It's a blocking foul. He does have 5 assists and no turnovers, and Tay Murray's in the double figures. Now, he started last game for the injured Ames. He played 27 minutes. He did not score a point. And tonight he's got 11 of them, just 3 shy of a career high. And then ACC huddle following the games. 2 ACC teams in, Clemson knocking out SMU in the championship on a late field goal, both teams into the field. Here in Charlottesville, it's Memphis by 3 with under 9 to play, and Danger gets rejected by a very handsy Robinson. First minutes of the second half for Anthony Robinson are effective ones.
Every minute he's played tonight has been effective.
Second foul against Jourdain. So Kofi had the 4 fouls early in the half. He hasn't been seen since. And little used Anthony Robinson. 6 rebounds, a couple of block shots now, and a basket with the ball right now for Virginia. Trying to screen for McNeely. Brody on the drive. Here's Robinson again. And his shot wouldn't go. Cisse back on the floor with 4 fouls, by the way, for Memphis. Jourdain looking for him. Tigers have missed their last 4 from the field. They haven't hit a 3 the whole second half. Haggerty driving. Cisse collecting and lost it. Under 8 to play here in Charlottesville. Virginia looking to beef up its non-conference with a win. Memphis looking to slay another power conference team. The floater from Rhodey won't go. Tyrese Hunter and Colby Rogers combined just 1 for 12 from 3 in this game, but Haggerty and Danger willing Memphis to the lead. It's going to be Haggerty. It typically is. He's tripped up. He finds the 3-point shooter. It's Carter for the first 3 of the half.
Just a killer. Free throws, the 13 of 15 from the line. And their defense has limited Virginia much more in the second half than it did in the first. And this is the first show of zone out of the timeout.
Inside to Ames.
I'm not exactly sure why you would go zone. I mean, your man has been so effective. And you give Day-Day Ames the opportunity to find space.
Space that we haven't seen Virginia have much in this second half. Lead back down to 4, 6.5 to go. Here's Hunter, gets free. You knew it was coming eventually. Tyrese Hunter with his second 3. And that zone experiment does not last long for Memphis, and with good reason. Rhodey's 5th turnover ends up in the front row.
I don't want to belabor the point, but Andrew Rhodey has shown no composure against pressure tonight, and it's hurt his team.
His 5th turnover. Virginia has turned it over 6 times in the second half against 5 made field goals. What was a one-sided turnover battle for a while has just about evened up. A slashing Haggerty tries to weave his way inside. The rim, and then Cisse finished with authority.
Well, that happens because Kofi comes over to try to block the shot. And a nice job by Cisse following it up.
Memphis in a game it's trailed by as many as 11, now leads by 9. 34-16, the second half score. This is what they can do. Murray driving and foul, continuing what could be a career best game. And that's going to be Cisse's 5th and final foul.
Virginia's had an answer. You know, you thought the P.J. Carter 3 going to break was a backbreaker. Virginia scores coming out of that timeout. Then you get the Tyrese Hunter 3 a moment ago. Does that put Virginia away? They keep answering. They can stop turning it over.
Nolan Smith is frantically trying to get the Memphis team to the bench. Moussa Cisse maybe figuring he can hide on the court with the 5 fouls. Hard to do that at 6'11". So for the second straight game, Cisse fouls out.
Really good change of direction, and there's a couple of fouls. That one in his 4th foul, that when you're in foul trouble, Moussa Cisse's got to back off of that. You can't get those fouls back.
3-point play for Murray. He's tied a career high 14. His season high was 5. What a game he's played, and he has kept Virginia within reach here down the stretch. Danger returns to the floor for Memphis. Hunter slips it to him. Danger will dribble out of it, back to P.J. Haggerty. Inside Jourdain, and he is denied by Saunders, searching for a foul. None came, and it's UVA ball with 5 to go. Ames deflected by Hunter and grabbed by Saunders. They'll try to post Jourdain. Saunders gets to the foul line with 5 to shoot. 3rd against Nick Jourdain. That's 8 Memphis fouls, so Virginia tracking toward the double bonus. Don't forget this Saturday men's basketball matinee triple header. Starting at noon with Syracuse at Maryland and Brooklyn, followed by Wake Forest and Clemson, and then the big one, Chris, between Purdue and Auburn at 4:30.
Yeah, tough news with Johni Broome. You know, hopefully he'll be okay. I will say this though: every time I watch Auburn, I am more impressed with Dylan Cardwell. Like Johni Broome is what makes them go. He's the talent, but Dylan Cardwell is the heartbeat of Auburn's team. That front line is really tough. It's going to be a heck of a game.
Auburn got a big lift yesterday, too, from Chaney Johnson at a career high 26. Yeah. Great game against Purdue, which has really challenged itself in the non-conference. Free throws by Saunders cut the lead to 4. Jourdain inside. Jourdain has his first points.
And he gave Taine Murray on the way in there a little nudge.
Nick Jourdain, who makes so many winning plays for Penny Hardaway in his 2nd year there, finally gets on the score sheet. Murray has space to shoot it. Instead, he'll feed Saunders. He's been very efficient today. He's stripped, and Danger's got the takeaway. Big man leads the break. Haggerty now trying to get it to Danger, and out of bounds, touched by Saunders.
You know, Haggerty's not defending Taine Murray on the other side, as you pointed out. The reason being, Taine Murray's only 2 of 10 on the year from 3. So look at this reach down there. P.J. Haggerty scraping on that post because you don't have to worry about Taine Murray.
Hunter off the iron for 3, and it'll go back to Virginia. 4:02 to go.
That's where P.J. Haggerty, averaging 21 a game, great score, does a lot of other things. I mean, he's averaging 6 rebounds a game, makes a big defensive play there.
2 steals a game as well. Last player with 21, 6, 3, and 2 steals a game, C.J. McCollum. 3 for Ames. No, it would have made it a 1-possession game. Hunter for Memphis. 4 starters in danger on the floor for the Tigers. Coming off that win at Clemson Saturday, looking to take down another ACC team. Danger travels.
It's a matchup nightmare.
Next, fellas.
Really good one coming, guys. Michigan, Oklahoma. Oklahoma, one of the last 4 unbeaten teams. Sam Godwin, terrific against Oklahoma State. Michigan really improved under Dusty May. Next here on ESPN2. And we get a good one down the stretch here with Memphis leading Virginia by 6. Isaac McNeely goes in for 2.
And a nice job creating his space as he went to his right hand.
Been a low-scoring game for McNeely, more of a facilitator. 5 points, 5 assists. Tyrese Hunter for Memphis, just 4 for 20 from 3, fueled by Haggerty's 22 and Danger's double-double. Here he is. Kofi, the big man's on him, a step-back 3. Oh, good! P.J. Haggerty! Perhaps a P.J. Daggerty. His first 3 of the game in a tie game. Season highs 29 for Haggerty. The year at TCU, redshirted, played a few games, and Tulsa last year, prolific scorer. Saunders from Ames. That's a big one for Saunders. Saunders has 15, and the lead is back down to 4 with under 2 to go. Haggerty wants more. McNeely draws the assignment. A danger screen. Haggerty with daylight. Across the way for Rogers. No. And Jourdain smacks it down and ends up in the hands of Ames. Ames eschews the screen from Kofi. Saunders flashing for a moment there. McNeely will initiate. McNeely on Jourdain. McNeely, hard drive. Cut off. Ames swings it. Saunders missed it. Offensive rebound of the freshman Kofi. Ames with 10 to shoot. Closing in on the final minute of play. Day, Ames. And no foul on the play.
And the help came all the way off Tane Murray. He was wide open in the corner.
Memphis has a pair of timeouts. Penny Hardaway will ask to use one.
Paint and give Haggerty the opportunity to go to work.
Well, he's got the ball. Once again, McNeely's on him. Danger will screen for Hunter. Haggerty. Rogers hasn't hit a 3 all game, and that remains the case. And then Hunter has the offensive rebound. To foul, and Ames will.
You definitely foul. How many times tonight kept
14th offensive rebound for Memphis. And Tyrese Hunter, 73% free throw shooter, hits the first. Hunter has had a tough shooting night, 2 for 8 from 3, but only 1 turnover. He's played 37 minutes. And he goes 1 for 2. Rebound Kofi. 5-point game. Do you need a 3?
go? You don't let it go.
Ames isn't going. Ames, and he's fouled by Jourdain.
What are you doing? Free throws on the road.
1 and 1 for Ames. Now 16 for 19 on the year. P.J. Carter is at the scorers table, not checking in yet for Memphis. Ames makes it a 3-point game. Now Memphis will. Hunter can run here on the baseline. Does have a timeout. Dangerous pass caught by Rogers. And there's a foul by Elijah Saunders. So Colby Rogers 13 for 17 at this year. Obviously, this is not the same Virginia team. They are put up a fight. Rogers makes it a 2-possession game. See if Ames goes a little quicker here. 4-point game. Ames going to drive in. Ames, no. Kofi taps it in. Down to 2 with 9.6. Memphis has the only timeout. Hunter inbounds to Haggerty. Immediately fouled. An 84% shooter from the line. Calmly drains the first. Haggerty with 26. If he hits this, then do you need three?
Now you need 3.
It wouldn't quite seal it, but it would come close. And Haggerty drills it. He makes both. He's got 27. 2 shy of a season high. Ames initiating. Ames not going to take the 3. What is happening here? Ames, the layup is good. Just 0.2 of a second to go. And Memphis survives the Orange Crush here.